History of the Proclamation of Independence of Indonesia. At first, Japan surrendered to the Allies, meaning that Indonesia was experiencing a vacuum of power. So, in this void, Indonesia independence must be immediately proclaimed. Before independence, Indonesia was under the Japanese colony. Well, at the time of the Second World War in 1945, Japan was very aggressive against America, but the sophistication of America's weapon, two important cities in the Japan, namely Hiroshima and Nagasaki, were bombed. The bombing incident made Japan crumble and sink until they declared themselves surrendered to the Allies. In order to avoid another chaos, Japan finally promised the independence of the colonized nation, namely Indonesia. This became the beginning of important event around the proclamation of the Indonesian independence. As from ceremonies in the promise of independence, Japan allowed Indonesia to fly the red and white flag in government office. However, the Japanese flag must still be flown side by side with the red and white. In order for Indonesia to be even more confident in the promise of independence made by Japan, on March 1, 1945, an agency was formed to prepare for the independence of Indonesia. The agency is known as the Investigation Agency for Preparatory Work for Indonesian Independence (BPUPKI), or in Japanese it is called Dokuritsu Junbi Kosakai. BPUPKI chaired by Dr. Rajiman Widyadiningrat. BPUPKI held two sessions in preparation for independence. The first session from May 29 June 1, 1945 discussed the basic formulation of Indonesian states, which later became known as Pancasila. Pancasila was formulated by Sukarno, Supomo, and Muhammad Yamin. On June 22, 1945, BPUPKI formed a committee of 9 to finalize the concept of Pancasila, which has been previously designed. The result of the 9 committee discussions are in the form of Jakarta Charter or the Jakarta Charter. Meanwhile, the second session from 10 to 14 July discussed the formulation of the Constitution along with its preamble. After the task of BPUPKI was deemed completed by Japan, Japan immediately dissolved the agency. The incident surrounding the proclamation that occurred after the disbandment of BPUPKI was that Japan re-established a body called the Preparatory Committee for Indonesia's Independence (PPKI), or in Japanese called Dokuritsu Junbi Inkai. The agency is tasked with continuing the duties of BPUPKI in preparing for independence. PPKI consists of 91 members and is chaired by Insinyur Sukarno. Knowing that Japan has surrendered to Allies, forced Indonesia to immediately declare independence. The event surrounding the subsequent proclamation were related to the young Indonesian people. The youth group led by Wikana and Sukarni urged Soekarno-Hatta to immediately proclaim Indonesia independence no later than August 16, 1945. However, Sukarno, who was then chairman of the PPKI, couldn't just let go of his responsibility and had to discuss it with other members. After fierce difference of opinion emerged between the young and the old, the young people finally agreed to kidnap Soekarno-Hatta with the aim of keeping them away from Japanese influence. Soekarno-Hatta was taken to Rengas Dengklok, an area in the Karawang area, West Java. This is the origin of the event surrounding the proclamation, called the Rengas Dengklok incident. When he found out that Soekarno-Hatta had been kidnapped by young people, Ahmad Soebardjo immediately looked for their whereabouts to Rengas Dengklok. Arriving there with the guarantee of his life, Ahmad Soebardjo promised to proclaim independence tomorrow, August 1745, no later than at 12 WIB. With these various negotiations and guarantees, the young group released Soekarno-Hatta with the promise of independence that had been made between the young and the old. The formulation of the text of the proclamation was started. The formulation was held at the residence of Admiral Maeda, who at the time served as head of Japanese Naval Liaison Office. Maeda's house is considered the chef for formulating the text of the proclamation that was typed by Sayuti Malik. In his role, Soekarno formulated the concept of the proclamation on a piece of paper. Meanwhile, Hatta and Ahmad Soebardjo shared their talk orally. The text of the proclamation was completed at 4 o'clock in the morning before dawn. It was agreed that the proclamation of independence would be read out at 10 WIB at Soekarno's residence, precisely at Pegangsaan Timur Street, number 56, Jakarta. At the time, Hatta advised all press workers who were present to reproduce the text of the proclamation and distribute it to all corners of the world. The red and white flag produced by Fatmawati was prepared, and the people began to gather in the hall. Exactly at 10 WIB, Soekarno-Hatta, on behalf of the Indonesian people, read the text of the Proclamation of Indonesia's Independence. Thus, the historical event of Indonesian independence began to reverberate throughout the Indonesian people.